I remember this thing that happened to me like when I was like 18. Yeah, so I was I just turned 18. And so like I was like freshly an adult. What happened was is that a year ago my mom actually died. Like I don't even think like a year ago, like maybe like a few months ago my mom died. And so I was left with my dad. And so that's a terrible thing to even, that's a terrible thing to even say because at that time my dad used to argue with my mom every single day. He used to argue with her every single day. And so like now he started arguing at me and he started saying a few things to me. I mean like now he leaves me alone, but before like like years ago he used to do that to me. And so I got really pissed off, and so what I did was I used to yell, and then I also used to throw things down. It's not like throwing things down like breaking things, because it's like you're broke. How you gonna break things? But like just throw it down, something that can't break or whatever. And so my dad freaking hated that, right? And so one day he called the cops. He called the cops on me. And the cops said that to my dad. Oh, if she can't do anything you tell her to do, not anything, but if she's not following your rules in your house or whatever, then you should kick her out in the streets. I'm like, and he's like, yeah, how old is she? It's like 18. It's like, oh yeah, kick her out in the streets. Listen, I'm older, but if I ever hear anybody tell me, especially a cop, tell me to kick my child out on the streets, they are going to get cursed out, and I will immediately kick them out of my house. It'd be like, kick her on the streets. It's like, how about I kick you out of my house? Goodbye. Yes, yes. It's just that. It's just like imagine me with a child, right? And of course, like she's going through a tough time. I wouldn't call the cops on her in the first place because I will be able to sit down and I will be able to have a conversation. Because that's what my brain is. I'm able to do that. There's some people that's not able to sit down and have conversations. My dad, I can't talk to him. I can't. Now you guys are maybe going like, oh, you can't talk to. Yeah, I can talk to him, but to sit down and have a serious conversation, I can't do it. I haven't did that. Last year I had to yell at my dad for 1 full hour to get him to sit down so I can have a serious conversation. I am not even kidding you. 1 full hour I had to do it. And it's like, you guys are like, why are you arguing with your dad to have a conversation? Because he's my dad. Because he's my dad. That's just it. He's my dad. He's my only family member that I actually like have that's immediate. He's my dad. That's why. Um and so that was just like one time for like from a very long time ago. So anyway, it's like my attitude is just like I'm just like really freaking pissed off. But the cops like, oh, and she can't handle your rules and kick her out on the streets. I'm like, what the f? Kick me out on the streets? I mean, like as a kid, like I wasn't really thinking too hard about it, but now that I'm an adult, it's like a white cop sees a little black kid, a black woman, a young black woman, and the first thing he suggests is to kick her on the streets. Do you want to know what happened to women on the streets? Do you want to know what happened to women on the streets? What would happen to me is that I would die. I probably wouldn't even be here today. I am like super sad, but that is what will happen to me. I would die. And I was like, so worry. I would die or like be like raped multiple times because we're talking about like years in time. It's like there are so many black people up on the streets, and it makes me really freaking sad. There's so many black people that looks exactly like me. They're on the streets and they're suffering and they're freaking dying. They're doing that every day. And then you got a cop who walks up in the house and then tells you that, since I can't be arrested, He's gonna tell, since I can't be arrested, he can't suggest that because it's nothing arrestable. Then like, oh, she didn't break anything. Oh, she's just putting things down. Oh, she's just yelling. That's not really arrestable. So first thing he says is to put your young daughter out on the streets. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like, yo, like, I didn't like that at all. I didn't like that at all. And and you know that cop had some type of prejudice against black people. You know he did. You know he did. And I wonder why he even suggests that. I wonder why he even thought that was a good idea. It's because, like, if you think that people are better left to die, it's like, and you look at a person, it's like my dad. It's like, when he looking at my dad, he probably doesn't think he's that smart. He doesn't think he's that bright at all. Like, he's looking at me, and then like he's like, oh, well, if your dad is not that bright, well then you as a young black woman, you're screwed. You're screwed. Because like your dad's gonna probably do whatever I tell him to do because he called me here, because he's not even able to talk to you. You know? And like, cop is walking up. He doesn't even think much about black people anyway. He thinks black people deserve to be on the streets or whatever. It's like, I didn't like that at all. I didn't like that at all. And you have like cops like this running around the whole entire place with this type of mentality, like black people are better off homeless, better off left to die, better off, exposed to the environments out there in the world. That's what freaking what I don't like. I really don't like that, because it's a guarantee that he wouldn't do that to his kid. It's a guarantee he wouldn't do that to his kid, because he didn't say he would, and I know he wouldn't. What else? What else? So this is just like something that like just like came up in my head. Like, I was like, right now I'm thinking about it. Like, my brain is like, I am more mature now, and I'm thinking about it. I'm like, if that was my kid that he suggested for me to put on the streets, fire would be raised. Fire would be raised, because there is no way. I mean, like, you guys are probably like asking, did you go on the streets? Yes, I did go on the streets, but like probably like, a few minutes. Probably like for like, a few minutes or a few hours. I didn't actually stay on the streets, like lived on the streets. No. So anyway, I got like really worked up. My eyes are watering, and so as my nose are like it's watering. Like I got really worked up, because like you have people excuse me, I'm laying down. You have people that are out there in the workforce. They shouldn't be giving personal opinions, but they are. They are. And they're doing things, and they don't think a black life is actually worth anything. But like maybe just to be thrown on the streets or something like that. It's like, that's I don't freaking like that. I don't freaking like that. My eyes are like watering again. I really don't freaking like that, and it pisses me off. It pisses me off. Yeah, that's it. That's all I would have to say. You guys have your personal opinion, you can leave it down there in the comments below, or whatever. Or not, you can just watch this video and leave. Bye, y'all.